Good morning guys, April the 19th, I'm Henry Green from London Trading Group, and once again I'm going to run through what I'm looking for in the markets for today. Okay, so Eurodollar on the daily chart for me, we're still making these high highs and high lows. We've just made a nice new low down here, equivalently a high low, and what I'm now looking for again is for this buy side. So what I've done, I've put this past market angle in, so as you can see this market held perfectly here and retested. All I've just done is set that on the current price, so if we just move this up a little bit. So put it onto here, and a break above that for me now signals that we're probably going to enter this phase. So what you might get is the breakthrough, pull back and retest this line somewhere, maybe at a good level of support, and then we go higher. So I like Euro. I think 113.60 is a good first target. Got a good level of resistance up there, and should you manage to get up there, then I think let's have a look at where the next fib takes us up to. So I've got my next level up as 1440. Where's this? Well, 1420. Okay, so the fibs are getting us up towards that high levels, and certainly I think if you manage to close above there, then we can potentially look to see this go higher. So just like before, if we got the trend line in as well, the last time this made a new low, we're through that already through that, so it failed to make a new low there. So this was the kind of line that we were trading on. Currently, it's very steep, so I wouldn't really give it too much premise. But at the moment, we are at good resistance here. We've got this past bit of cluster here, so I'm looking for this to break through here, and 113.60. I think if you get a close above here, is pretty good place. So what you could do, you could look to enter on a 15-minute time frame. So again, what I'll probably look to do is to have this in here, and then all I'm looking to do is buy through a high low, and potentially look for that side. And we're looking to take this up to 113.60 as the first target. I think that looks like quite a good idea in the Eurodollar. Okay, so cable, I've got an interesting play on cable. So for me, this is the line that we've still got in at the moment. There's nothing else in there for me yet. I think we could maybe have that out. So I've got that lining up perfectly to the level out. So what I'm actually going to look to do, I like this area as a fade zone, 143.25. I think that's a really good fade zone. So in my cable chart, again, we did make new lows. This is just a lower high. What you could argue is the fact, as long as we don't take this high out, as long as we don't go up through 143.50, then I think we're still all right for the short side. And we've got this trend line coming in as well, so you expect this to hold. It is a good trend line, so let's have a look to see whether that holds. So if we could just go back, I mean, I can't quickly do this now, but normally if you look for a period where you at least get some reaction, especially at a good trend like this where it's clearly made a new low, perfect, those 2 points are perfectly connected, and I think that 143.25 area is a really good fade zone, and I'll certainly be looking to fade some should we get up there, because I think it's the 127 on the D as on the 15 as well. So there's a few things that are pointing me to that area of cable. So what I'm going to look for is that 15-minute lower high through the lows. I think you can sell cable back down sort of 142.30 is my first target, so it's a good level of support down there as well. So yes, we had quite a bullish day yesterday, but fade trades are allowed even off the back of bullish days, so you just got to wait to see what happens with this one. We are still going sideways, so it makes sense for us to potentially be in the short, because we are looking towards the top side of this anyway, and I think a short in cable could be a good play. Dollar yen, how did that close yesterday? So it had a nice close yesterday. We closed up on the day. Could just be forming this double bottom here with the top at 109.40. So if we just bring up the, let's have a look at the hour. What's the hour saying? So we think a 109.40 potentially bottom here. So I think to play the double bottom is pretty straightforward. I think a lot of people will be playing that. It looks like it's all right to me. So let's have a look to see what's happening. So we pull back to 38. 618's gone deeper than that, so we've gone in between. So then we're looking down here. So we're looking basically all the way down here now. Okay, so yeah, I mean that's that out as well. So we're just going sideways at the moment in dollar yen. I mean, probably if you get up towards 109.40 and see rejection, I think that's probably quite a good sell zone in the current market state. The only thing I like about this to potentially go high now is we have gone through that counter trend line. We have broken that, so you'd expect potentially a move out to this one. So that if that is the case, what you can do is I'll be looking for this trend line to hold. I mean, we have had quite a bullish day yesterday, so there's nothing to say we can't play this on the long side. I think that's fair enough. I don't think people would criticise that decision. We just put these in, try and work out exactly where we are on this. Let's zoom in. Oh man, sorry about that. Zoom in. Yeah, so I think if you manage to get dollar yen on the long side, I think this is probably going to be the play. So you're looking to buy it should it manage to get back down to this trend line. Let's just extend this one out and see where we are on the fibs. So we can put the fibs in as well. Let's put those in. You got A, B as the first one. Pull back to 127. Second fib. Nice. It's moving nicely, this one. Okay, perfect. So we're at the 127. So first pullback, and then that next target leads us back up towards 109.50. So I think that's quite a good one. If you get a pullback, another high low made, then I think if you could buy it up to 109.50, I think that's quite a good trade as well in the dollar yen. So I think 109.50 probably target for dollar yen looks quite nice as well. Dollar CAD, I mean, dollar CAD got absolutely thumped yesterday. It's back on the back of that oil news. I mean, so where are we now? So again, it looks like we made a lower high, and through the lows, you've got to be looking for the short side in this one. So it looks like Canadian strength is going to continue. Perfect pullback to the 38. We are now at the lows, so potentially expect a bounce here. Obviously, if we do manage to close through it, then you've got to look for the short side. This is quite a difficult play down here because what is going to happen when it gets, we are down here now, so what is it going to close through, and then do you take it short or what? So what I'm probably going to do is, if you just fib this move, is this probably the D down here? Yeah, so we've hit the D down here. The D's hit there. So I think maybe a false move down, and then maybe we come back up again. But other than that, it certainly looks like a short. We could just be, last time we broke this trend line, we went through it, consolidated, and then broke lower. So we could just have a bit of consolidation around here, and then that break lower is signified by the breakout of that, and then we just continue on down. So dollar CAD still looks like a short. I've not got anything down to 126.80 area, and my first target will be down at 126.60. Because that's the 118 down there as well. So that's quite interesting in dollar CAD. Aussie's just relentless. I still really like this short. It's such a good zone up there. It's so annoying. We got Stevens talking this afternoon, I believe. So yeah, you got Stevens, Carney, and Polos all speaking. So just be careful today for the news. It's at the 127 on the day. This was the big target on the daily chart, so I do expect this to reject somewhere, but it's just where it's going to reject now. It's looking even more toppy than before up here. We are at the 118 on the hourly chart, so there's still a good rejection zone. What I'd prefer it to do is I'd just prefer it to go one blip higher. So if we can get up to 77.90 now, 77.90 gives the 77.90 gives the 127. I think that's probably, it's got to be the top, hasn't it? And then we're looking for that to sell back to down to 77. So if you get that little blip higher and some rejection at 77.90, I'm probably going to have one final crack at that, because I do think that should come off. So maybe Canadian dollar strength, Aussie weakness potentially if you get that squirt up. Dollar yen looks like it could go up to 109.50. Cable I like to come off around 143.25, and the euro we say we could potentially see that push up. So potentially looking at euro and Canadian strength today. What about the Kiwi? Well, the Kiwi has hit the D, looks like to me. So we have hit that D now. It's not quite formed. So I'm looking for that D to be hit. Where could we potentially see that D hit? Let me have a quick look at that. Okay, so we're at a really good level up here, 69.90. I've got this as a great level. So maybe if we see, so this is what we kind of expected. I like 70.70 as the best sell zone. So what we could see is if we finally form this D here, does that take us up to 70.70? Yeah, we're getting up there now. So what's that line doing? Is that telling me that's a D? Yeah. So I think this is the big D as well. So I think we've got a big, yeah, I think this is a big level here, guys. So that's what I'm looking for. I know it's taking that out. Where is that coming from? So I've got a big old fib up there. So this comes from this one here. B in between them two. So yeah, I think anywhere in this zone has got to be towards, you're looking towards the top here in the Kiwi. So potentially Kiwi comes off as well today. Certainly at a good level of resistance up here. I will just double check that with my daily chart, but certainly it looks like it could come off around 69.90 area. Yeah, I like this as a level. I think that's a good level. It's a turning point on the way up, and it has halted on the way down. So potentially a little bit higher, but certainly that is a good old level. Yeah. So where we are now, 69.90, 69.87 area. I think that's a very, very good level. So I'm looking for that as the rejection zone in Kiwi. So yeah, okay, so there's a few interesting things there. Guys, as I said, I think potentially, obviously, dollar CAD's at an interesting place, so it might not continue, but other than that, I do like it to continue on down. So I hope that's been useful, guys. As I say, click subscribe to never miss a video again. I'll be back tomorrow with more trading ideas from London Trading Group, and happy trading. Thanks very much for listening.